Hi, I'm Jennifer from the Sewing Room in Alameda, California, and today I have a little mending project that I need to get done. So I have a pair of yoga pants that I've been wearing for my walking in the morning for the last 10 years or so. And the seams are coming out on one side. Let me show you. It has a little hole, and must be on this side. And the hole is super irritating. So it's just irritating that I have a hole in my pants. It doesn't irritate my skin, but here we go. There's the little hole. Let's see if I can bring it up to the light, and if you can see, it's really hard to see black, but we might be able to get a view. So what's happening here in this hole is that the seams have been flat locked together, which is when they're not joined together like this, but they're joined together on top of each other and then stitched with what's called a flat lock machine in the factories. So I don't have a flat lock machine, but what I do have is a handy little stretch stitch on my machine, and I'm going to show you what it looks like. It's this one right here. Let's see if you can get closer and you can see what it looks like. So it's this little guy right here under the D on my Baby Lock Joy. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch my machine to that stitch. So I'm putting it on the pink for the stretch stitch. All of my things are pink, and then I'm moving it to the D. And I'm going to just keep my stitch width at 5. And what I'm going to do, so technically I could probably just stitch over it, over this area, and they're stitching, yeah, the threads are totally coming undone. So what I'm going to do, instead of just stitching over it, because I think it might move around a little bit, is I'm going to put a little piece of black knit fabric that I have, just a scrap of fabric hanging around. It's not a very big area, and I need another piece for another part of the pants. So what I'm going to do is just take that front part off my machine to make it easier. I'm going to place this knit piece on the back, and I'm going to get my pants lined up. And I could pin this, but I'm feeling a little lazy, so I'm not going to pin it. I'm just going to make sure. Oh, it looks like it's folded over, so pinning would have been ideal. But anyways. So just folding that over and then lining it up, and I'm just going to run that stitch, and I'll do a little back stitch at the beginning. Let's make sure that's going flat all the way down. You know, I don't think you really have to back stitch with that stitch, but as you can see, it goes kind of slow. It actually takes quite a bit of thread. And I'm just stitching where the flat lock stitching would be. And I'm going to continue going because it looks like the threads are coming out a little farther down, and I just want that to be completely secure. So I've gone past my little piece of knit fabric, but that's okay. The knit fabric is just for reinforcement under where the hole is. Okay, so that's my first hole, and now I'm not going to have a hole in my pants, and I'm not going to be self-conscious about that when I'm walking around in the morning with my friend on our walks. So let me show you what it looks like on the inside, and what I'll do is I'll just trim off the extra, and because it's just a stretch jersey, I'm not concerned about fraying. Oh, I just found another spot that needs to be reinforced with some stitching. So we're just going to go through these pants and fix as many things as we can. But this is what that piece looks like on the inside now, and you can see I'm just gonna trim that off so it's not flapping around on the inside of my pants. And let's see, get it really close to the stitches. And then I see that I have stitches coming out at the waist. So that it looks like I probably need to go completely around this entire waist to get that, to keep it from coming out. Am I correct? I think it just needs reinforcement because it looks like one of the threads broke, but not all of the threads broke. So we'll just go around this entire waist. And because it's a stretch stitch, I don't really have to worry about stretching my fabric or anything. But I might gently pull it because it does take quite a bit of time. We'll get to the end of this and then we'll move on to the next hole because there's a hole in the crotch and that's not so fun. Okay, I'm back to where my original stitching was in that section. So I'll go ahead, clip my threads, move on to the crotch. So I'm going to do the crotch in the same way I did the side seam. I have a little piece of fabric. Oh yeah, that's much more secure now around there. Okay, I have a little piece of fabric I'm going to put under the hole, I guess. And it's the same thing that's going on. So here's the gusset. And you can kind of see that there's a hole starting right there. You can see my fingers going through it. And in order for it to not go any farther, it needs some sort of reinforcement. So I'm going to do the same thing I did with the hole in the side seam. I put a little piece of fabric behind the area that I'm going to sew over. Now I didn't do that on the waist because the threads weren't completely out and it was still holding it all together. This way, having that little piece underneath there, I don't have to be as precise with getting the fabrics to move together, which in the case of an old pair of yoga pants, I'm not too worried about precision. I just don't want there to be still a hole in it after I finish doing this. So I backstitched kind of over the whole thing. And this one, I'm just gonna reinforce a little bit more because it looks like that seam is starting to come apart at the inside. You know, threads just degrade after time, especially in a high traffic area, and sometimes we just need to strengthen it up a little bit. And that's it for today. I'm going to show you my pants, hole free. Now I do not have to worry about walking around. No hole in the side. No hole in the side when I stretch it. No hole. So I'm super happy. I have a new pair of pants, so to speak. And I've done my Monday mending. Have a great day.